Hi, good morning, and welcome to this presentation. Our project is called A Political Token. I'm Carlos Gomez, the CEO. During the next few minutes, I'll be sharing with you all the highlights of this initiative. However, before jumping into the details of the political token, I would like to discuss briefly about the category where we'll fit in. It's a new category, though. The best way to explain it is by contrasting it against the main one in technology, which is fintech. As you already know, fintech or financial technology includes a large number of projects dedicated to facilitating the financial needs of most humans using the latest technology available. The number of projects currently in this space is enormous. In contrast, we came up with the concept of Polytech, or technology at the service of politics. We're not claiming that we are the only project in this space at the moment. We're not sure about that. But if there is any more out there, we certainly would love to connect with it. In any case, we're a network of politicians. Yes, the politician of the 21st century. Our aim is to facilitate the interactions and communication among them in a decentralized development with a unique objective in mind, increasing the well-being of all individuals. I will explain shortly how we're planning to do that. Here we go. That's how. In the modern world, every single human has a physical personality, which is manifested literally in every interaction we make in the real world. However, day by day, we're spending more and more time performing activities in the online and virtual world, and that carries on certain consequences. The Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma, explains perfectly the problem. Basically, we believe that we do not enjoy the same level of protections as individuals that we do in the real world, and also we feel like that we've been exploited by the social networks at the moment. Well, here are some quotes extracted from the program. It is a marketplace that trades human futures. You are the product. Your attention is the product being sold to advertisers. If you're not paying for the product, then you are the product. These platforms are generating a large amount of revenue using us as a product without sharing any portion with us. We also have evidence that signals that our freedom of speech have been curtailed. This topic of debate, and we'll touch base on this again. Today, the stock market is not dominated by banks, car manufacturers, or oil companies, but it's dominated by big tech, or FANGAM, which is the combination of the first letters of the largest companies out there: Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Apple, and Netflix. The market cap is huge, reaching also the trillions of dollars. But what triggers such a large amount of value? Our virtual personality. That's a critical concept that we as a project, as a network of politicians, civil society, NGOs, and like-minded individuals are organized to promote and uphold. But what is exactly virtual personality? Well, it's more than that actually. It's the right to have or not to have virtual personality. That might sound a little bit strange, but yes, we all should have the right and power to decide as to whether we want to exist or not in the virtual world. What are the components of the virtual personality? There are actually four, and let's go through one by one, not in any particular order. The first one is your ID. Under the current scheme, we're not the owners of our IDs in the virtual world. Any social network platform can at any time, and for no reason whatsoever, cancel our IDs and accounts, and we don't have any say on that. Your content is your data, our information, and we should have full control over it. However, it's all handled by the management of social media platform in a centralized fashion. Your intention. That's how to direct our attention to specific content. For example, if you're watching this video, right now you are directing your attention to what I'm saying at this time, as opposed to simply being on Facebook, watching pictures posted by your friends on the latest trip to snow in Colorado. And your intention. There are your actions. Examples of these are what you say, what you write, what you like, your forwards, and what you buy online. Your attention is the main source of value for the large tech companies in the world right now. And it's what they auction at the highest bidder any second, and for what the moment you're not getting any benefit from. We just talked about the promotion side. Now let's move into the development. The reserve, or DAO, which stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization, is how we're making this happen. A decentralized network formed by thousands of organizations connected with millions of users, when they will be remunerated for their attention and for their contribution to the network effect. There are a few things I'd like to mention in regards to the reserve of the DAO. The first is that having structured in a way that its development will be built up following a bottoms-up philosophy rather than traditional top-down, where all the decisions and rules are imposed from the top. This is not the case here. Second is about the governance. We have developed a comprehensive set of documents, including constitution articles, council structures, council member functions, and other proposed set of guides that the founders or initial sponsor can utilize. However, they're free to modify as they see fit in order to adapt their functionality to the local realities. There's also a framework available for members to resolve the dispute within the DAO. The third is that we're planning to facilitate and help individuals to create separate and independent DAO in every jurisdiction in the planet. And the fourth is that at the time of the recording, the main functioning DAO at the moment is the Miami DAO. As the name suggests, it's within the city of Miami and the greater Miami area, which experienced a positive transformation into a tech hub here in the United States. We thought it was a perfect spot to kick off this initiative. Here I want to show you the difference between the current and large centralized platform already in place and our solution, which is decentralized in nature. It doesn't have any middleman with the power to manipulate the interaction among users. In the left, we can see Facebook as an example, but the same structure applies to others such as Pinterest, Twitter especially, and Instagram, for example. Here, the businesses give money for the right to present their ads in front of the users of the platform. And Facebook, in this case, is the one collecting all the money and not passing any to the users. The only thing that the user gets in the return for their attention and the value of the virtual personality is entertainment and the right to use the platform. At the same time, here there is a central management entity monitoring and controlling everything that occurs within the Facebook platform. They have the power to cancel any ID or account or to censor certain messages or posts created by a user if the content, in their opinion, violates the terms of use of the platform. Now, at the right of the screen, you can see our solution, which is completely different. Here, the businesses will pay money for the same right to push ads to users. The big difference here is that a large proportion of that revenue will flow directly into the users who elect to direct their attention to that content. Also, please note that there's no middleman, only a technological autonomous platform that won't be able to cancel any ID because we acknowledge that the ID belongs to the individuals. It won't be able either to censor any of the posts or messages sent to the platform. And also, since we'll be a Web3 platform at the same time, it will be censor resistant against any other internet giant that will prevent from operating, like the case of Parler at the moment. So moving on, let's close the loop and links everything we're talking at the moment with the political context. An example of that is I'm presenting is particular to the United States. But we believe that the same principles apply to most of the countries where the political power is split between the left and the right. The first person on your screen is Tucker Carlson, a conservative journalist from Fox, who is a strong advocate of the policies pushed by President Trump. He also, during the last 12 months, has been expressing his concerns for the censor activity present in social media networks towards conservative content. In that regard, the example can be more appropriate. After the events that we saw on January the 6th in the Federal Congress in Washington, Twitter decided to cancel the account of Donald Trump, who at the time of the event was the legal president of the country. This is unprecedented. Our position is that regardless to whether or not we agree or not with the content, we must never censor a message. People must enjoy total freedom of speech, and the only limitations are those imposed by the law of the nation that could trigger actions in the justice system. On the other hand, in the right of the screen, we have Chris Cuomo, who's a liberal journalist from CNN, who also happens to be the brother of the current New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo, and son of the late and former New York State Governor Mario Cuomo. I'm expanding a little bit here for the audience who is not resident in the United States. Back to the content. You will see that the concept that is frequently discussed by Cuomo and shared in social media by famous and influential Democratic Party leaders such as Ilhan Omar is the concept of UBI or Universal Basic Income. Well, we're going to implement the concept of UBI in the DAO by the revenue sharing product of the advertising activity in the platform. As you can see, we'll implement by the promotion of the virtual personality and the deployment of the DAO a few concepts that span across both sides of the political spectrum. For that reason, we say that we are highly political but ideologically neutral. Let's touch base briefly now on the technology side of the project. We as a political token believe that there's plenty of great technology available in front of us. We just need to make a good use of it. For that reason, we're going to implement both sides of the project, the promotion and the deployment within the Polkadot ecosystem, which is a blockchain of third generation that brings a number of advantages. and we'll be touching in detail another video dedicated to that topic. What I can share today is that a feature of the solution will be deployed and developed using some of the most interesting projects in the space, called, in this case, parachain, which please note I'm using very Polkadot jargon here. Those projects parachains are Akala for stablecoins, money market, and the DeFi part of the program, Moonbeam, or Pay network to support facilities such as escrow, accounting, governance, and dispute resolution. Moonbeam, to deploy a program, an application previously developed in Ethereum using the native language Solidity, and Subsocial for the future of social networking, e-commerce, and decentralized data storage. We might be classifying the eyes of some as a technology project. However, since we're not going to develop a new technology from scratch, we don't need to direct the lion's share of the funds raised to that task, but rather to the function of sales, marketing, public relations, and promotion of their own project. A network of people located all over the world will be the sponsors, promoters, ambassadors, and the main responsibility will be to attract participants either to the political token project with focus in the promotion of the virtual personality or the research of DAOs. For those interested in the benefits of how to become a sponsor of a country rep, there will be another separate video where we'll describe all the relevant information in detail. Here, I would like to mention that in addition to the companies that are already members of the Miami DAO and the future ones, the political token program is one of the main sponsor of the DAO. An important proportion of the tokens will be dedicated and used in activities directed to the development of the DAO, and hence its positive political ramifications. In terms of the timetable, this project is the result of years of development by a large group of people, but looking into the future, we could say that during Q1 of 2021, the project will focus its efforts in continuing with development of the Miami DAO and the pre-sale of the political token. During Q2 of 2021, we will strengthen our efforts in increasing the participation in the political token and the DAOs around the world by the promotion and content marketing. Moving on in Q3 the same year is where we anticipate that most of the technological features of the reserve of DAO will start to be available to members and users. And finally here, please note that unlike any other traditional projects in the space where the initial funding stages are discrete and limited to a specific and short period of time, our efforts here will continue through the entire life of the project. And last but not least, I wanted to leave you with with our contact methods and link with more information. If you want to use a pseudonym instead of your real name, that's okay for us. There are a couple of Medium publications, one for the political token, another for Miami DAO, with a lot of information, a lot of details. If you want to send us an email directly with questions or comments, please feel free so. And this is our Twitter account. Well, that's the end of the presentation. As I said at the beginning, I want to thank you for exercising your virtual personality and directly your attention to this content. Have a great day and reach out to let us know how we can work together. Thank you so much.